Now, I know I said that last week would be the final movie Fridays because this week we're transitioning back into the My Little Pony show vlogs, but also Sunday we're getting back into Ray Donovan with its next season. But someone who I'm going to remain anonymous up on Discord sent me the link to this movie. And after seeing the trailer, this looked quite tempting. And want to know why it's tempting? Let's find out. Welcome back to Movie Fridays, where hopefully this will be the final one until the season of My Little Pony, and possibly Ray Donovan, is over. Because today's film, or at least this week's film, is an interesting case. Like, I have never, ever seen a film like this ever released. And besides that, this was a Danish, German, and Irish animated film that was released sometime around late 2000, early 2001. And it was all animated by those three countries. And what really do I say to this whole movie? This has got to be the most interesting animated movie I've ever seen. But I don't understand why this film was never released in the US. But let's find out. So the movie is about three children, Fly, Stella, and Plum. Or Chuck, I should say, in the dub. I keep thinking of the other version. But apparently these three are played by Jeff Plays, Michelle Westerson, and, surprisingly enough, Aaron Paul, who you might be familiar with as, or at least familiar with in Breaking Bad and BoJack Horseman, because he's in those two material, but he's also in, like, casual films like 999, which is not a very interesting movie. But back to the story. The three wind up going on this little trip to find some fish, and of course come back home with some. But of course, since a big, waves coming their way, they decide to wind up heading inside this mysterious lair. And they wind up finding this professor, played by Terry Jones, of Monty Python fame. And of course, he is an insane scientist who finds a love and interest in, of course, fish. Why fish? I'll never know. But apparently he's a professor in marine biology. As of course, this professor has created a potion that can change people not only into fish, but also a reverse potion to change fish into intelligent and human-like. So the three of them wind up, going into the ocean and wind up drinking the potion and becoming fish for a little while. But there's a catch to all of this. If they don't get the potion back and change back within 48 hours, that'd be 2 days if you're dumb, they are fish permanently. Of course, as the antidote's falling down to the ground, it comes across two characters, one of which is played by Alan Rickman, whose character name is Joe, and he's the main antagonist of the movie, and then a shark played by David Batterson, or is it Betts? Can't speak English. But essentially, Alan Rickman, who you might know from Harry Potter and Die Hard. Great, now I can't stop thinking about that line. Yippee-ki-yay, motherfucker. they wind up, the three of them wind up, the two of them wind up accidentally drinking the potion that changes the fish into human, as Joe winds up deciding he's going to build an army of fish that will bring humanity down, and the fish will be the big overrulers of society. And where should I begin? Well, at least I have to say that the animation is surprisingly really good. And where else? The film definitely has an interesting style, but there are some moments here and there, because obviously this is a children's film, and part of the time children's film requires some musical moments. Some of the songs in this movie, partially kind of a bit like Brave Little Toaster, has an odd transition into those said songs. With this film, it's kind of interesting to see the songs transition. Hell, one of the songs in this movie is just, they wind up coming in, and then all of a sudden, the main antagonist just instantly starts the song. So weird. But there are many things I find very interesting with this movie. One of which is, of course, the fact that Aaron Paul of BoJack Horseman and Breaking Bad fame is in this movie, but also Alan Rickman. But other than that, the animation is, at least for its time, when the US started somewhat phasing out 2D animation, is, I can't come up with the words. This is one of those movies you have to see to believe. I know it's not the right opinion to say that, but honestly, what else do you really have to say about this movie? It's something. And if anything, I do say, if you have the time, go check this out. Because you're in for one interesting trip. And I'm actually going to link you the YouTube video here. And, of course, it'll be up in the tags if you can't see this on the phones or tablets, whatever you got. And, of course, I'll link it in the description if you're on PCs or Macs. Because those are the only ones that can link in the description, because YouTube phased out annotations. And I think I will say that this film is honestly has no rating whatsoever, but is definitely a good time, no apple juice required. You have to be classy with animated films. And at least family ones at best. Alright, so if you've actually seen this movie, Help I'm a Fish, whatever your thoughts are, comment below and let me know. And as always, if you like what you've seen here and you want to see more, just wait until the end slate if you want to see more. And as always, I'm the Ferb Guy, and I'll see you guys for the next movie.